In FCAM2012R2, we've brought over some new technology toolpaths from PowerMill's machining library. These toolpaths are used for 2.5D machining and give us a number of benefits. We now have the option to do continuous spiral toolpaths, to have step-overs greater than 50% of the tool diameter, a number of high-speed machining capabilities such as profile smoothing, smoothing allowance and trochoidal machining, smooth step-overs and teardrop moves to clear any corners, automatic raster direction, and more leads and links options. In this example we're going to look at some of these new technology toolpaths. Here we can see I've got a number of features already pre-created, and we can see those in the graphic screen. I've got a couple of bosses and a couple of pockets. Let's look at the first toolpath. In this case this is a boss but using the traditional technology toolpaths. If I play the centerline simulation, you can see the shape of the toolpath like so, but you can also see we've got some sharp direction changes in the toolpath. If I switch to the new technology toolpath, note if I go to the strategy area, we change the strategy from this pull down list. So the previous toolpath was a spiral, this one is using the new technology spiral toolpath. If I go to the roughing area under the milling tab, you'll also notice we have a number of high-speed machining options such as maximum tool overload, which will introduce the trochoidal machining, profile corner, which will round any corners on the profile of the part, and also smoothing allowance, which instigates our race line machining, where the tool will travel with the most smooth and straight direction that it possibly can before getting to the shape of the offset part. If I play the centerline simulation for this one, we can see the effect of the race line machining, taking the most direct route it possibly can until we start to follow the form of the shape of the part. We also have a number of other options available to us. If we go back to the traditional technology toolpath, into the rough, into step overs, in this case I'm going to increase the step over to something larger than the tool, and we can see the tool here is a 32mm tool. Let's increase this to say 40mm. Preview the toolpath, and the centerline simulation looks good. However, if I play a 3D simulation, we can see that there's large chunks of material left between the passes. Let's have a look at that same setting, but this time with the new technology. So into the step overs, enter a value of 40mm. I can apply. Also note that I've got different leads and links as well, so I can enter, for example, an extension distance to both the lead in and lead out. Play the centerline simulation. We can see the shape of the toolpath. We can also see how the tool is extending into those corner regions. We can adjust that or change the behaviour of that toolpath if I change the ramp type from direct to smooth. Note the teardrop shapes that have now appeared to clear out the corners. If I do a 3D simulation now, you'll see that the areas are fully cleared and there's no excess material left. This can also be used on the pocket machining operations. So here you see a traditional technology toolpath, again in centerline simulation, and in this case I've turned on the curly corner to give me some kind of trochoidal machining. This can also be replicated with the new technology toolpath. So in this case, under the strategy, if I choose an NT spiral, and note under the milling I've got the high speed machining all turned on. Preview that toolpath, and I get a trochoidal shape like so. But we can also use other technology. So for example, if I change the toolpath cut type to be a continuous spiral, I can either do it from the step overs area, or I can do it directly from the strategy page. Apply. This time I'm going to uncheck my high-speed machining options so we can see the toolpath a bit more clearly. Play the simulation, and you can see we've got a continuous spiral inside this pocket region. If I go to the manufacturing area under the machining attributes and go over to the step over area, notice we've got a new tab or a new button here called step over options, and here you can see I can choose the different types of step over types for each of the features. As well as that, we can also change to an NT zigzag type toolpath. And again, playing the simulation, we get the toolpath like so. Note the automatic direction, looking at the longest positional orientation of the feature and giving me my toolpath orientated like so. So that's the new technology toolpaths inside FCAM2012R2.